Now to what has become the new ground zero in the fight over voting rights, the state of Texas. Now, the state Senate and House both have proposed bills, they're slightly different, to protect your rights and make it harder to commit fraud. And for that, Texas has come under withering and false attacks that Georgia also endured during the spring.
There are states across this country that are enacting voter suppression laws. And in fact, Texas is one of 8 states currently targeted.
We call this Jim Crow 2.0. This is voter suppression and reimagined.
We're not going to force a voting suppression bill down our throats and expect us to take it. We will fight. We will fight. We will fight.
Is that the only phrase the Democrats know, Jim Crow 2.0? Let's break it down, what they're so upset about here. So, new voter ID requirements for voting by mail. It adds extra hour of voting in most counties, so you get an extra hour. A ban on sending unsolicited mail-in ballot applications and limiting third-party ballot collection. Joining me now is Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Dan, did I leave anything out there? I mean, the horrific anti-voting rights legislation that you guys are pushing. I mean, it's just shocking.
You know, I'm happy to debate, Laura, any Democrat, anytime on it's now Senate Bill 1. We passed Senate Bill 7 throughout the Senate during the regular session, but it failed in the House when the Democrats walked out. So we'll have our hearings beginning tomorrow. We'll pass this bill out probably Tuesday next week or Wednesday next week off the Senate floor. And there's nothing in this bill, Laura, that has anything to do with voter suppression. In fact, I'm offended when any Democrat, black, white, or brown, says to me that Republicans are trying to stifle their vote. Just not true. And you never hear this, Laura, but here are the facts. When we passed photo voter ID in 2011, I was one of the authors of that bill. They said the same thing. What's happened since 2011? Texas has increased voting turnout more than any other state in the union. We've increased gubernatorial turnout 76%, presidential election turnout 41%. And in 2011, only 58% of registered voters voted. In 2020, guess what? Nearly 68%. We're leading the nation. 95% of all Texans, Democrat, Independent, Republican, said it's easy to vote in Texas. Beto O'Rourke lies about it. Julian Castro lies about it. Every Democrat lies about it. These are lies, and this Jim Crow 2.0 nonsense. If there's anyone who understands Jim Crow, it's the Democrats, because they're the ones that held, particularly African Americans in the South, down decade after decade after decade. This is on
Dan,
them. The Republicans are giving everyone an opportunity to vote.
Dan, what they say
Yes.
is, well, if it wasn't broke, why are you trying to fix it? If you did such a great job, why do you feel like you have to put these new provisions in place? And your answer to that?
Yeah, well, here's the answer. So one of the provisions that everyone wants is paper trail on the electronic machines. Everybody wants that. So that's a new thing we're adding. That's not voter suppression. It's making sure that counts right. The second thing that we have in the bill is that our voting machines will not be connected to the internet, so they can't be hacked. That's not voter suppression. Democrats support that. Everybody wants that. The two issues that they keep bringing up are 24-hour voting and drive-in voting. It's never been in the election code in Texas. We have 254 counties, Laura. One county, Harris, which is where Houston is located, they on their own created their own law. That's not how it works in Texas or any other state. And so we're not rolling back anything. We still have 2 weeks of early voting. We've added hours, as you said. There is nothing in this bill that suppresses votes at all.
Yeah, well, Dan, what they're trying to do, they're trying to set it up so if Republicans take the House next year, they're going to call it illegitimate, or if the Republicans take the presidency in 2024 and they haven't gotten their way on the voting stuff, they're going to say it's illegitimate. I mean, that's clearly what they're doing. But you set the record straight for us tonight, and we really appreciate it, Dan. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
And what the CDC